It's been a red, white, and blue weekend here at Wrigley Field. Seems like every fan wearing one of those three colors as the Cardinals are here for a three-game weekend set, and it's the rubber match today. And we welcome Cub fans from all over the country watching on WGN America, America's home for baseball. Hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Trade deadline, a lot of talk. Cubs haven't made any moves to this point. The deadline is Tuesday afternoon. Let's get right into the pitching matchup today. Left-hander Paul Maholm, probably in the best stretch of his career. He's won his last 5 starts.
Career high 5 straight game winning streak, and he's really been good. Last time out against the Pirates, 8 innings of 1-run baseball, the only run a solo bomb.
Cardinals will turn to veteran right-hander Adam Wainwright. It's been kind of an up-and-down year for him, but he always pitches well here.
He likes to pitch here at the friendly confines. The Cubs faced him for the Cardinals home opener and banged him around real good to start the season down in St. Louis.
Let's send it down to the field now for our pregame festivities.
From Air Force ROTC Detachment 195. Detachment 195 is located at the Illinois Institute of Technology and is made up of cadets from IIT and 16 other Chicagoland universities. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Mission Continues staff members, Marine Corps Corporal Tiffany Garcia and Army Specialist James Casey to the field to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please remain standing and join Wayne and Kathleen Messmer as they honor America with God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming on the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star
Friday, the Cardinals homered in each of the first 5 innings in a big 9-5 victory, but the Cubs came back yesterday and kept the Cardinals in the ballpark in a 3-2 win. What will transpire today? Stick with us. We'll have all the action coming up next. By Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. The Illinois Lottery. Do you believe in the power of possibility? The Illinois Lottery. Anything's possible. And by Ford, manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Stats Sunday. Make sure you check out our WGN Baseball blog, brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, nationwide agent serving the area for 33 years. Contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. We talked to the Daily Herald's Bruce Miles writing about the quality start, which is an interesting stat. And currently, as you look at some of the all-time leaders in quality starts, the Cubs' all-time leaders, a Hall of Famer, Fergie Jenkins, Don Sutton also in the Hall of Fame. With the Cubs right now, Dempster, Garza, Mahalam, and Samardzija all tied for first with 11 quality starts. So Paul Mahalam will go for number 12 and his 6th consecutive win as he faces this powerhouse Cardinal lineup. Descalzo in for the injured Rafael Furcal. Craig in right, Holiday in left, Carlos Beltran in center, Yadier Molina catching, David Freese with his first action in this series, Matt Carpenter at first for Lance Berkman, Tyler Green at second, and Adam Wainwright bats ninth.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind Paul Mahalam, brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Once again, it'll be Soriano, De Jesus, and Laher left to right across the outfield. Valbuena, Castro, Barney, and Rizzo once again, third to first across the infield. Steve Clevenger getting the nod behind the plate against Adam Wainwright today, and he'll be receiving pitches from left-hander Paul Mahalam. Mentioned the 5-game winning streak, hoping to extend that to 6 today. He has been really, really good during that stretch. He has not allowed more than a run in any of those starts.
The crew chief, Mike Winters, who winters in California, will work the plate. Mark Wegner at first, Brian Knight at second, Angel Campos over at third.
Time to look at today's Mazda drive to victory, and what the Cubs need to do today is try to win another series. That's what they've been doing a great job of since the All-Star break, and they've been really good here at home. And for the Cardinals, they need to keep hitting. In the last 5 ball games, they've been in double digits in their 4 victories in hits. Yesterday only 5, and they lost. Drive to victory brought to you by your local Chicagoland Mazda dealer. See your Chicagoland Mazda dealer for a test drive today at driveamazda.com.
And here we go, a first pitch strike. Mahalam to Descalso. Four for 6 in this series. Rafael Furcal out for the second straight day, dealing with some back issues.
Only the 3rd time this season that Daniel Descalso has found himself at the top of this Cardinals lineup.
One is low and outside. What a weekend. 80 degrees. Southwest wind. Just perfect. Inside, 3-1. Actually, right now, southeast wind at 11. So it's blowing across from right to left. On one bounce, it'll be Anthony Rizzo to the bag and the out.
The last couple days, the wind has more blown in from right center field. Today, more of a crosswind, which should help the right-handed pull hitters or the lefties that happen to hit the ball to the opposite field.
Alan Craig, the right fielder. And he takes a pitch low for ball 1. Craig 6 for 11 with a home run against Paul Mahalam, who's 4-7 lifetime and 17 starts against the Cardinals. A loss and a no decision in 2 starts this year, both coming in St. Louis, and in those 2 outings he allowed 10 runs in 10 innings. But it's been a while. May 15th was his last start against this Cardinal team. Hard hit ground ball right at Starlin Castro, and he'll throw and get Craig.
Today's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting, provided by WRTO La Tremenda, Chicago's Spanish language sports league. And that phrase "murderer's row" was really coined for the 1920s Yankees team, specifically the 27 Yankees, for all the thumpers they had in their lineup. But look at this Cardinals lineup today, starting with Alan Craig, 15 homers, Holiday 18, Beltran 22, Yadier Molina 16, and David Freese 14. Modern day version of the Midwestern murderer's row.
Yeah, 4 guys with 15. Freese, as you mentioned, with 14. They've only had 7 teams in their history with 5 or more players with 15 homers.
And those 5 players we mentioned, all with 51 or more runs driven in.
Well, Holland's 2-0, catches the outside corner. A ton, but they slug. 3-1.
And when they do run, they usually pick their spots well. They may not have a lot of stolen bases as a team, but their percentage is very good.
Big rip by Holiday, foul back, 3-2. Cardinals aren't in terrible shape. I mean, they are 6.5 out and third in the NL Central. The Reds and Pirates have been hot. Cincinnati's won 9 in a row. The Pirates 4 straight. Cardinals just 2.5 back in the wild card. On 2 bounces, it backs up Castro. He will get him. And Paul Maholm with a 1-2-3 opening inning. Cubs coming up against Adam Wainwright. Brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. DeJesus Castro and the rookie Anthony Rizzo putting together a good month of July. Soriano, Lahair, Clevenger in the middle. Barney, Valbuena, and Maholm 7 through 9.
Good look at the Cardinals defensively here this afternoon. It'll be Holiday, Beltran, and Craig left to right across the outfield. Freese, Descalzo, Green, and Carpenter third to first across the infield. Yadier Molina back behind the plate today for veteran right-hander Adam Wainwright.
Weird note on Adam Wainwright. 5-0 in his career at Wrigley Field. He's 1-5 against the Cubs in St. Louis. Go figure.
I mentioned that opening day, the home opener down in St. Louis, a 9-5 Cubs victory. Wainwright gave up 8 runs in only 3 innings worked that day. Just never got comfortable on the mound. The Cubs offense ambushed him that particular day.
You see 10 quality starts. Kyle Loesch leads the Cardinals with 16. Jake Westbrook has 13. Lance Lynn with 12 as DeJesus sends a fly ball out into right center, and it's going to drop down as Carlos Beltran will pick it up on the warning track. How about another triple? The Cubs with 4 triples this weekend. DeJesus has a couple of them. I don't think I'm going out on a limb, Bob, to say if John Jay were starting in center, that would have been a fly ball out.
Yeah, we'd have 1 out and nobody on base. Beltran really laboring as he chased that ball into the gap in right center field. Middle of the plate fastball at 89 for David DeJesus, and as he does more often than not, gets the barrel on it, splits that gap perfectly in right center field, and slides in safely with his 7th triple of the season.
I almost wonder if Beltran thought that ball was a home run. And the wind is not going to help a fly ball hit to that part of the park right now. It was up in the air for a long time. Cubs will certainly take it. A triple, and here's Castro. Well, you don't want to show up to the park or join us late this weekend because Matt Holliday homered in the first inning on Friday. The Cubs came back with 3. in the bottom of the first. Anthony Rizzo with a home run. Jeff Samardzija walked the bases loaded to start the game yesterday. Gave up one. Cubs came back with two. A quiet top of the first in this one, but De Jesus with that leadoff triple.
Wake-up call for Yadier Molina here in the bottom half of the first inning. Just in case you weren't plugged into the ball game, how about a foul tip off your right shoulder?
Wainwright with the 0-2, and just off the end of the bat hit foul. We should note regarding Adam Wainwright's 2012 numbers, he didn't pitch at all last year after Tommy John surgery, so this is always that transition year. And his ERA has reflected that. Last year he pitched 2010. He had a 2.42 ERA. This year it's almost 2 runs above that.
Wainwright has the usual arsenal of pitches. He'll sink his fastball. He'll cut it. Curveball. Occasional changeup. He only threw one changeup against the Dodgers in his last outing. Relied heavily on the sinking fastball and the cutter.
Well, the first year he's thrown the cutter. Curveball's always been an important pitch for him. Sinker is hit foul. Look for you to keep in touch. LemonBob@Tribune.com. And you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Right side of the infield in. Shortstop Descalzo back. And Descalzo will charge, but again he was playing back, so he'll have to get the out at first, which he does. Castro with an RBI, his 48th of the year. And 2 batters into the bottom of the first. The Cubs lead 1-0. He hit it to the right guy on the infield.
Love those leadoff triples. Put so much pressure on the defense. Obviously, with nobody out in the inning, in the first inning, the Cardinals are going to play back to try to avoid the big inning, and all Starlin Castro has to do is put that ball in play and keep it away from the pitcher.
Wainwright back to the windup against Anthony Rizzo. That one out in the left, a little slip by Holiday, who would not have caught it either way. Now Alfonso Soriano, a triple in the first inning yesterday.
Off the end of the bat, little soft liner, kind of fooled Matt Holliday out in left field. He froze in his tracks initially, and then when he tried to recover and charge in and make the play, lost his footing briefly and drops in there for a base hit for Anthony Rizzo.
Inside, ball 1. Out, Pat Listash. That one hit hard past the Cubs' third base coach. He's a good dancer.
But that's the only step he knows.
Blooper out into right, and it'll get down for a hit. Rizzo will make the turn. Soriano's going to try for 2, and he is safe. A hustle double for Soriano.
Alfonso Soriano has apparently discovered the fountain of youth somewhere near Lake Michigan. He has been running the bases like a 21-year-old recently. Hit a triple into the left field corner yesterday. This time the little floater into shallow right. Turns into a sliding double, putting 2 runners into scoring position.
Second and third. Here's LaHare. Jumping all over Adam Wainwright. And a curveball for a strike.
It was almost painful to watch Alfonso Soriano for the better part of 2 months, dragging that bad knee around with him, but says he feels like his legs are strong. They're underneath him. Good acceleration there between first and second to reach on the double.
LaHare couldn't stop himself. 0-2. Mentioned the Cardinal home opener. The Cubs scored 4 in the first off Wainwright, 3 coming on Ian Stewart's home run. And LaHare later in the third inning of that game hit a grand slam. And he strikes out. 2 down.
You mentioned it before. That's been his signature pitch throughout his career, that big curveball. That time electing to start it near the bottom of the zone, have it bounce out in front of home plate. Brian LaHare just did not recognize it quickly enough.
We'll see if Clevenger can pick him up with a 2-out hit. We're off to such a good start, but he hasn't done a whole lot at the plate here lately. Two and 0. Darwin Barney on deck. Steve, when he went on the DL in late April, was hitting .500. Since coming off the DL in late May, he had the oblique injuries, hitting under .200. That's a strike on a curve. 2-2. You can see Wainwright not afraid to throw that pitch in any count. Tough to get that call, isn't it?
Yeah. That curveball has so much late movement, really gets a lot of spin on that ball.
It's a fair ball, and Wainwright will tag Clevenger to end the inning. Cubs get 1. Wainwright avoids further damage. It's 1-0 Cubs after 1.
In Chicago and around the country on WGN America know that during every Cubs home game this season, if you go to channel 780 or high definition channel 1780, you can see a special multi-view presentation that shows you all of our different live camera angles right here at Wrigley Field. It's pretty cool, so if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T UVerse channel 780 or high def channel 1780.
David DeJesus with a leadoff triple and the first run of the game. Switch hitting Carlos Beltran batting right-handed against the lefty Mahalam. It's a ball, one low. He had a rough day yesterday. He did pick up an RBI with a first inning fielder's choice. The bases were loaded with no outs. That was probably the pitch of the game for Jeff Samardzija on a first pitch slider. And then Beltran struck out in his other three at bats. Jeff got a no decision, but it was a quality start. 6 innings, 2 earned runs. And as we follow up, and we thank Bruce Miles from the Daily Herald for writing about the quality start, as he points out in his guest blog, as Beltran swings and misses. No stat is perfect, but quality start is pretty simple. Got to go at least 6 innings. You can't give up more than 3 earned runs. And as Bruce mentions, people tend to focus on the minimum qualification. 6 innings, 3 earned runs. But most quality starts are much better. And Bob, this year, throughout baseball, if you get a quality start, you win 2 out of every 3 games.
Take that.
You definitely take that. And I think it's even more important for a team like the Cubs to get a quality start, because as a club offensively, they're averaging under 4 runs a game. So if you're going to give up 4 or 5 before your bullpen even gets a chance, you're already behind the 8 ball. To Molina is low. 3-0 on the Cardinal All-Star catcher. Let's take a look at the Cubs all-time quality start leaderboard. Now for Fergie, there weren't a lot of 6-inning quality starts. No. There were 9. And 3-0 swinging, Molina with a base hit into center. For the Cardinals' first hit.
Gets the green light on 3-0. Got a fastball inside part of the plate and down at 86 miles per hour. Normally you'd like to do a little more damage on that 3-0 pitch, but I'm sure Yadier Molina and his skipper Mike Matheny will take that base hit into center field.
Now David Freese, who missed the first 2 games of this series, coming back from a right calf issue, had some cramping and had to leave on Thursday against the Dodgers. So we'll see if he stays hot, even though he's been out a couple of days. 15 for 28 over a current 9-game hitting streak. That's a .536 batting average. The other thing, John Lowell, a fine baseball writer for the Detroit Free Press, who essentially kind of came up with the idea for the quality start. One of the things, Bob, he based it on is all the managers over the years saying, all I'm looking for from my starter is 6 good innings. How many times have you heard a manager say that? Got to give me at least 6. You never hear a manager say, I just want 5 innings. I mean, ideally you get 7 or 8, but 6 is kind of that area where you feel like you can plan your bullpen accordingly over the final 3 innings. Three and 1. Mahalam's been behind a few guys here early. So the Cubs starting pitchers, when they deal a quality start, they have a 27-12 record. When they don't, it's 3-29 with an ERA of over 8. It's kind of been all or nothing. Castro boots it. Starlin's been so good defensively here lately. Maybe a little flat-footed. We'll see if it took a weird hop. Came up maybe just a little bit, but he just missed it.
Yeah, it looked like he was more concerned with getting his body into a position to make that throw to second base and forgot about getting himself a good hop on the initial ground ball. That one just ate him up, climbed up his wrist for an E6.
Still only 1 out, 2 on for Matt Carpenter. One strike on Carpenter in for Berkman today. The throw's going to go to second. Molina is out. He strayed too far off the bag, and Steve Clevenger gave him a dose of his own medicine.
I talk about it all the time, Len. 2 different stages when there's a pitch in the dirt. There's a block, and then there's a recover. That time, Steve Clevenger recovered so quickly that Molina was caught out in no man's land. Pitch over in that right-handed batter's box. Clevenger keeps it in front with a nice block, recovers, and throws strongly to Castro for the out.
One, curveball strike, 1-2. Kind of cancels out the Castro error. Swing and a miss, and just like that, the inning is over. 2 strikeouts in the inning. For Mahalam, Cubs lead 1-0 early.
Log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
Underway in the Cubs' second, Darwin Barney takes a strike. And the 6'7", 228-pound right-hander Adam Wainwright. Left field corner. Fair ball. Barney running hard around second. He's going to hold there with a double. Extra base hit starting the first two Cub innings today.
Way out of character statistically for Adam Wainwright. Generally, he is very tough early in the ball game, the first couple of times through the opposing lineup, and then you can get to him. But the Cubs are knocking the ball all over the ballpark here in the first inning plus. Through the first 4 innings of ball games this year, Adam Wainwright's opponent's BA was 220. From the 5th, 6th, and 7th inning, it jumps up to 347.
Struggling Luis Valbuena, who shows bunt and takes ball 1. On Friday, he snapped an 0 for 19 with a 9th inning single, but then went 0 for 3 on Saturday. Scalzo sneaking in behind Barney. Wainwright faked the throw there.
Understandable that the timing didn't seem to be there for the Cardinals on that pickoff attempt at second base. Descalso only making his 6th start at short. Rafael Furcal is their guy out there. 92 starts at shortstop this season.
3-0. And ball 4. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Pirates tomorrow night here at Wrigley Field. Game time 7:05, but be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans at the game will receive a Cubs tote bag brought to you by LBCVA. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Mulholland will try to get 2 guys in a scoring position. As he actually swings away, they're going to get 1, and that's it. Run will score. Barney in. So they tried to turn it 3-6-4. They would get an out at second, but the relay throw would get away from Tyler Green, and that would allow Barney to score.
Tyler Green on the move, coming over from his second base position to cover the bag at first. Cardinals would have been much better served just to take that force at second base. Not try to make the miraculous play, but the Cubs benefit as Darwin Barney scampers home with the second run of the game.
That's an error on Descalso on the throw, allowing Barney to score. No RBI. 2-0. Mulholland at first and ball 1 to DeJesus.
Kind of lost in the shuffle there was the fact that Adam Wainwright was caught standing on the mound watching that play. He would be the guy that normally you would expect to cover first base on a play like that. And that's tough for a second baseman. First of all, running from his position over to first base with his back to second. He's got to quickly find the bag, turn, and receive that relay throw from the shortstop, and Tyler Green wasn't up to the task that time.
3-0 on DeJesus.
That very tail end of that aborted double play as Descalso's throw back to first. That's Tyler Green laying all over the bag. Fortunately, Paul Maholm was able to stop and get back to the base. He never touched it the first time by.
Fouled off, 3-2.
So much that was Mark Wegner calling Maholm safe at first. He was indicating that the ball is in play and live.
And more or less saying that he wasn't out. Kick the 3-2 on the ground again to first. Bobbled by Descalso, so he'll have to take it to the bag. Rather, Carpenter. A runner at second with 2 outs.
This will not be ruled an error on Matt Carpenter, but should have at least got the forced play at second base, but he bobbles as he takes the ball out of the glove. You go back to June 30th. The Cardinals have now committed 21 errors, the most in the major league, while the Cubs have committed 6, which was fewest in the National League. Cardinals not helping themselves out with the leather.
Mike Matheny, their first-year skipper. Funny story coming out of Atlanta. Chipper Jones, I guess, tweeted last night about having a date with the doc. His manager thought it had something to do with his knee problems. So Freddie Gonzalez didn't sleep last night. Well, he was referring to Roy Halladay. Doc Halladay. And he hit a home run today. This will be picked up by Descalso, and the inning will come to an end. Cubs get an unearned run and lead 2-0 after 2.
is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go.
Cubs leading 2-0. That run was actually earned on Wainwright, so he's given up 2 in the first 2 innings. Paul Maholm trying to get his 6th consecutive win, already a career best 5-game winning streak. And with a 5 straight starts of at least 6 innings and 1 or 0 runs allowed, he's one of 2 Cub left-handed starters in the modern era to have such a stretch. Rube Crow, K-R-O-H, did it in 1909. According to Ed Hardig. And here's Tyler Green with his first at bat. Low for ball 1. Last time out for Maholm, 8 innings, 4 hits, 1 run against his original team, the Pirates.
As I mentioned earlier, really only made 1 mistake, and it wasn't a poor pitch, but Garrett Jones got out and around a cutter and hooked it into the bleachers in right center field over that Clemente wall. That was it. He only gave up 3 other base hits in his 8 innings of work.
It's done a backdoor curve, 2-1. According to stats, he's getting the second highest percentage of swings and misses in his career. 2008, 19%. This year, 16.8% of his pitches have been swung on and missed. Also has the lowest ground ball percentage of his career, just under 62%. In his career, it's about 65. Jesus makes a catch for the out.
Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to WrigleyvilleRooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
Well, the Cubs scoring a ton of runs this year. They are giving Maholm some pretty good support. Just under 5 runs per start on average.
We've seen him miss just off of that outside corner with that backdoor curveball. If he gets that pitch wired in, it's going to be a rough day for the Cardinals offense. He's already got the good cutter working. Painting that fastball on the outside corner. If he can get that curveball scooted over just a little bit, that'll give him 3 viable weapons to use against the Cards. There have been a lot of starts, even in this stretch when he's won 5 in a row, where Paul Maholm has only had maybe the 2-seam sinker and the cutter working one day. The next time he'll have the 2-seam sinker and the changeup working. And if he can get them all going at the same time, that's a rough day.
Wainwright went around, according to the home plate umpire Mike Winters. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Cubs with their first winning month of the 2012 season. Now 13-9 in July. Scalzo looks at a strike. About 7 games under 500 in each of the first 3 months, April, May, June. will be a quick 1-2-3 for Mahalem as Castro throws out Descalso. 2-zip Cubs in the third. Play of the game going back to yesterday, and this earned Dale Swain his third ejection of the year. Starlin Castro clearly beat out this ground ball. Mike Winters, however, called him out. So the magic word. As we're trying to add on there after taking a 3-2 lead. See what's possible with AT&T Uverse high-speed internet. AT&T, rethink possible. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Rizzo. It's a strike. Now Castro was safe. That was clear on the replay. The one thing you notice when he hit the bag, he was kind of leaning back. And you've talked before about certain guys you played with, including Chili Davis, who, you know, their head would be ahead of their body, really charging hard. But look how Starlin's body's kind of angled backward.
It's an illusion. If you lean forward, it gives that first base umpire the illusion that you're on the bag a lot quicker than you are because your upper body's leaning forward.
Diving stop, Descalso out at first. What a play. Anthony Rizzo might be talking to himself about big league defenders. He got robbed by John Jay the other day on a great play.
Is the strong throwing arm by Daniel Descalso, who shaded Rizzo up the middle just ever so slightly, forcing him to dive for that ball, but has plenty of arm to rocket that thing across the infield for the out.
Ball one to Soriano.
You know, and talking to Dave McKay about that Castro play at first base, something he's trying to impress upon the Cubs base runners is the first 15 yards out of the batter's box, halfway down the first baseline. That's when you want to be going as fast as you can possibly run. Put the ball in play, drop your bat, and run as hard as you can for that first 15 yards because your momentum will carry you through the base at that point. If you don't run hard out of the box and try to turn it on at the halfway mark, you're probably not going to be safe at first base because it's too tough to regain momentum at that point. So he was really upset about that first base call because Castro did everything that Dave McKay's been teaching him to do and still didn't get the infield hit.
Curve is in there. 2-2. That was a big point in the game yesterday. Cubs did hang on 3-2, but that would have extended the advantage. Swing and a miss. He got him for his second strikeout.
It's that curveball once again. When he is good, Adam Wainwright can throw that curveball on that front lip of home plate whenever he wants to. He can roll it up there for a strike in the middle of the zone, and when he's ahead in the count, he can use it like Jeff Samardzija uses his split finger. Throw it at the bottom part of the strike zone, giving the illusion of a strike, and then bounce it on home plate. Gets a lot of swings and misses.
Swinging strike on the struggling Brian LaHare. There's the 0-1. Now 1-1. Wainwright's from Brunswick, Georgia. An all-star in 2010. The year before, he won a Gold Glove, so he does field his position well. You may remember 6 years ago, took over as a Cardinals closer late in the season, as they would surge and win the World Series. Got the final out in all 3 postseason series. Struck out his current teammate Carlos Beltran to end Game 7 against the Mets. Just missed. Full 3-2. We got Beltran a nasty curveball called strike 3 to end it, and send the Cardinals to the World Series, and he would save the World Series clincher against Detroit. And when word got out before the season last year that he wasn't going to pitch at all because of Tommy John surgery, the Cardinals' chances were pretty much pronounced dead. And what happened? They went on and won the whole thing anyway. Tony La Russa walked away, a World Series champion once again, and Mike Matheny takes over. Talked to Mike today, said he's very happy with how hard his team has played for him. Said they're not in the best position in the standings, but he has no complaints about the effort. I don't know if they have enough to pass the Reds and the Pirates, Bob, but they certainly have the experience. They know what it's like to be out of it with 4 to 6 weeks to go and get back in it as LaHare takes a called third, and the inning is over. A 1-2-3 for Wainwright. 2-0 Cubs. Walk-off win to Folds of Honor. Find them at facebook.com/Budweiser to see how you can help support our nation's soldiers and veterans. Great to have some post 9/11 veterans here at the ballpark today. They are members of a Mission Continues Fellows program, and had a pregame ceremony in which they took their fellowship oath, making a strong statement to Chicago and to the nation. These veterans are committed to continued service in their communities. Good stuff. One and one on Allen Craig. Cubs lead 2-0. Ground to Castro. He's been busy.
We talked about it in Pittsburgh in Paul Maholm's last start. When you have a left-handed starting pitcher on the mound that relies on changing speeds, you're going to get a lot of ground balls to the left side of the infield. I guarantee you, Luis Valbuena and Starlin Castro both knew going into this game they were going to get a lot of action their way.
We've got a happy birthday wish. It goes out to Pearl Mink from Lafayette, Indiana. Yesterday, Pearl turned 100. She was born in 1912. Pearl, we hope it was a great one. Foul tip, 2-1. Nice note on Twitter from John Putt, watching from Jonesboro, Arkansas. And I know John, even though he's in Cardinal country, is rooting for the Cubs because his profile picture is wearing a Cubs shirt. So it's a pretty safe bet.
Either that or he lost a bet. That happens on occasion.
Yeah. You heard me on the pregame mention Marty Brenneman has promised to shave his head if the Reds win their 10th in a row today, as Holiday draws the walk.
We invite you to stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation, to life, love, and loot. Popular Chicago-based chef Graham Elliott leading the 7th inning stretch today.
You've got Tommy on speed dial, right? Make sure he takes a picture of his dad after the game today if they beat the Rockies. Have him send it along.
Maybe for the only day this year, I think I'm rooting for the Reds. I'd like to see that.
Since he's 13-2 since the break. Beltran with a pop fly out in the shallow left center. But Jesus will get there. 2 down. Ryan Dempster's scheduled to start Tuesday night. The Cubs are TBA tomorrow night against the Pirates. They have not officially announced who their starter will be. There's a decent chance Justin Germano will come out of the bullpen. If he's not used today. One and one to Molina.
All the more reason you'd like to get a lengthy outing from Paul Maholm today, just because of the uncertainty going into that start tomorrow. Like to have all arms rested and ready.
Foul.
Fifth start of the year for Yadier Molina behind the plate for the Cardinals. He's one of those rare birds. He's an everyday guy. He will let Mike Matheny know when he needs a day off. It's not unusual to see Yadi catch day games after night games. First game after a long road trip.
Tony Cruz is his backup as he strikes out swinging to end the inning. No more good innings for Maholm to start today. 2-0 Cubs. Come in trying to sweep the Astros this weekend, but remember the Cubs beat them 2 of 3, and we'll have games 2 and 3 right here on WGN. Ford manufactures of more fuel efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Steve Clevenger quickly in an 0-2 hole. Cubs batting in the fourth, up 2-0. Fly ball to left. Holiday over into the corner, and he makes a catch.
You know, partner, I was perusing the Cardinals media guide here under Adam Wainwright's section, and I'm pretty sure he's a closet Cubs fan. He and his wife Jenny live down in Georgia. He's got 3 daughters. Bailey Grace, Cubs connection there. Morgan Addison. Well, you got to stretch this one a little bit. Macy James. Now, there were two James that played for the Cubs. Cleo back in the early 70s and Richard back in 1967. I think he's a Cubs fan.
Adam, Waveland, Sheffield, Grace, Clark, Wainwright.
I don't know. I don't know that his parents were Cub fans, but from the names of his daughters, you might get that impression.
Actually, in the spirit of accuracy, his middle name is Parrish, P-A-R-R-I-S-H. Up the middle, Descalzo behind second, the spin, the throw, the out.
We invite you to see Wrigley Field through the eyes of former Cubs players in our all-new VIP Living Legend Tour. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity gives you the chance to hear stories from the players who lived them firsthand. For more information or to purchase tickets, call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit Cubs.com/tours.
One and 0 on Valbuena. 2 outs, nobody on. Popped up left side of the infield. It'll be Descalzo. That's the inning. Off to the 5th. David Freese will lead it off for St. Louis. Cubs leading 2-0. For FDIC. Freese, Carpenter, and Green. A little rain out west. We're kind of in that mostly cloudy situation here at the ballpark. The wind continues to come out of the east-southeast. 2-0 on Freese. First pitch, going inside, and a leadoff walk.
And even though that at bat resulted in a base on balls, you could clearly see David Freese was ready to swing at that 3-0 pitch. We saw Molina chase a 3-0 pitch earlier, drive it into center for a base hit. David Freese that time had the green light, 3-0.
Here's Carpenter. It's interesting. Mahalem's gotten behind a lot of Cardinal batters today. He's not hurt him yet. He's only given up one hit. He has missed on 5 in a row to start this inning.
New in 2012 is Cubs Authentics, the premier outlet for special MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia. From game-used baseballs, bases, and jerseys to autographed bats and photos, Cubs Authentics has the most exclusive Cubs memorabilia. Visit the Wrigley Field Concourse, the Cubs store, or email CubsAuthentic@Cubs.com for all your Cubs memorabilia needs.
There's a strike.
Good meeting.
Clearly, Steve Clevenger told him, throw a strike. Another one, 1-2.
What he's been able to do effectively, Len, you mentioned he's fallen behind a number of these Cardinal hitters, but he doesn't then just groove one down the middle of the plate to get back into the count. He continues to work on his strengths, which is pitching to the edges of the zone. Even when he's behind in the count, he's not likely to throw it right down the middle of the plate.
He has now thrown 34 strikes, 33 balls. Barney to Castro, and that's it.
Always tougher to turn that double play from the right side of the infield, just given the fact that second baseman has to turn his body to make the throw to second base. And you couple that with the fact that the Cubs don't play what is considered normal double play depth. Swing likes to stay away from the big inning. He feels when you draw your infield in at double play depth, it opens too many holes defensively. So very, very tough to turn that particular double play.
Swing and a miss by Green. Cardinals have a lot of movable parts. Carlos Beltran normally plays right. He's in center. No Furcal at short. No Schumacher at second. You've got Scalzo and Green in there. You've got Matt Carpenter in for Berkman at first. Two. Tigers need a win, and they have a 4-1 lead at Toronto in the bottom of the ninth. Tigers have lost 3 straight as the White Sox continue to win. There's a base hit. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Two on with 1 out. Adam Wainwright had a quick chat with his third base coach Jose Oquendo.
Well, and whether he puts down a sacrifice bunt or not remains to be seen, but I would imagine he's going to show bunt as Paul Maholm goes into his set position, then pull the bat back. And then if he's going to bunt, he'll bring it back around the second time. If not, he'll just swing away.
Wainwright can swing the bat as he bunts through strike one. He has 5 career home runs and a .209 batting average. Hasn't homered since 09. He hit 2 that year.
Well, if indeed Wainwright bunts, he's going to try to put it down that third baseline.
It's going to trickle foul.
Paul Maholm being a left-handed thrower, it's very important that in this particular situation that he gets off the mound quickly. He's responsible for bunts on that left side of the infield. Unless it's bunted so hard he can't make a play, and then Luis Valbuena will come in, scoop up the ball, and throw to first. With 2 strikes, we'll have to see how the Cardinals choose to play it, but you see Maholm being a left-handed thrower. Anything he picks up in that vicinity, Valbuena will retreat to the bag and try to get the lead runner at third base.
Just outside. 1-2.
Even an 0-2 count in a potential bunt situation, Paul Maholm still trying to nibble the corners there. A little backdoor cutter just low.
Low again. Well, Kendo and Wainwright will talk it over yet again.
Obviously, I don't know what was said right there in that brief meeting, but after you've shown bunt twice with 2 strikes, now would be a good time to go ahead and swing away. You've got the Cubs infield drawn in. Everybody running all over the place to cover bases, and he does swing away. On the first 2-strike pitch, defensively, you're not sure if he's going to continue to bunt with 2 strikes. But after he showed bunt 2 times on a 2-strike count, Cubs drew their infield in as if it were early in the count. Maholm wants to talk it over with his catcher, Steve Clevenger. Tried to go up the ladder that time, see if they could get Wainwright to chase. If you scooted up another 4 or 6 inches, maybe you get the swing and a miss, but that time Wainwright just got a piece.
Fouled out of play. Count holding at 2-2. Ball center field to Jesus with the runners tagging. And only the lead man Carpenter can advance. First and third. Now 2 gone.
Wainwright able to move one of the runners up 90 feet with that fly ball to center field, but it's significant that the runner held at first base. Now if there's a tough play defensively on the infield and the only option is to go for the force at second base, the Cubs can still get out of this inning unscathed.
Carpenter at third. First Cardinal to get that far. Green at first. Cubs leading 2-0. White Sox last night acquired left-hander Francisco Liriano from the Twins. Infielder Eduardo Escobar and a minor league pitcher go the other way in that deal. Catcher George Kataris traded from Milwaukee to Oakland. Chopper to Rizzo, and he's going to flip to Mahalam covering first. Nicely done to end the inning. It goes 3-1. They strand two. Cubs lead 2-zip.
The Curious Bank, member FDIC.
Paul Mahalam, 5 shutout innings, continuing his great stretch here. And he'll lead off the Cubs' 5th against Adam Wainwright, who's settled in after struggling a bit in the first 2 innings. Cubs with all their 4 hits and 2 runs in the first 2. Freeze in on the grass at third, and a strike, 1-1. Astros continue to trade away veterans. Third baseman Chris Johnson dealt to the Arizona Diamondbacks today for a couple of minor leaguers. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. It's his first hit since a home run on June 23rd in Arizona. Time now for our Nissan drive of the game. David DeJesus leading off the bottom of the first with a triple. Get to your Nissan dealer for special offers. Nissan, innovation that excites. Visit ChooseNissan.com. Curveball for ball 1. Well, I don't know if we're going to recognize much of the Astros roster the next time we see them. It'll be in a couple of weeks back here at Wrigley Field on August 13th.
Recognized much of the roster last time we did see him. Very much an organization in flux. Guys coming and going. Anybody making any amount of money is definitely available.
Houston is 34-68. They've lost 2 games for every one they've won.
The one constant we could always count on when you play the Astros was Wandy Rodriguez, and that's not even going to be the case anymore. Although we're going to see plenty of Wandy.
He will not pitch in this next series against the Pirates. A liner to the shortstop, Descalzo. 1 away. Eric Bedard, A.J. Burnett, and Jeff Karstens for the Pirates in that series. Cubs to be announced, Ryan Dempster and Travis Wood.
How do you feel if you're Kevin Correa for the Pirates? He'd won his last 5 starts, was dealing out of the rotation, and with the addition of Wandy Rodriguez, he gets bumped into the bullpen.
Can never have too many starting pitchers, though. The White Sox have to figure some things out with the acquisition of Francisco Liriano, but these are good problems to have.
Not always easy for the player to see the big picture and understand how it makes the team better for the long haul, adding another quality arm, but the ultimate goal is to win. Get into the playoffs, possibly make a World Series appearance. Pirates in a good position to do that for the first time in forever. The more good players and pitchers they can add at this time of year, I don't blame them. Oh, by the way, the Pirates have a couple of scouts here at the ball game today. They've been on this series all weekend.
They're trailing at Houston 4-2 in the 5th. As they try to sweep that series and send the Astros to their 13th consecutive defeat. 3-1 to Castro. Reds 60-40. Winners of 9 in a row. Now it appears to be a 2-team race. Looks like 2. 6, 4, 3. And the inning is over. Off to the 6th. Cubs 2. Cardinals nothing.
Protecting home for the Phillies, the Giants, and the Cardinals are the top 3 offensive catchers in the National League. Carlos Ruiz, with his .343 average, ranks 3rd in the National League. Buster Posey at .315 holds down the 8th spot. Yadier Molina not far behind with his .304 average, 16 home runs. Xfinity Home offers state-of-the-art features that help you stay connected to your home and family anytime and anywhere. How much I like that. Catchers atop the leaderboard in offense.
What a year Molina's had. His team trailing 2-0. With the way the teams ahead of them have been playing, this is an important game for the Cardinals. Rubber match of this series. Craig Holliday and Beltran against Paul Maholm. Strike 1. Cubs are just 5-8 against the Cardinals this year, but trying to win their 2nd series against them here at Wrigley. Cardinals will return here in late September. Two and 1. Both starters still with a shot at a quality start today, which is the topic of our Stats Sunday. 6 innings plus. No more than 3 earned runs. Broken bat, soft liner right to Valbuena. Go 6 or more and not give up more than 3 earned runs. That's a quality start. Don Sutton, a Hall of Famer, with the most in Major League history. Wilbur Wood had 37 back in 1971. Fastball to Holliday for a strike. Paul Maholm gets it done with a fastball that rarely hits even 90. That one at 89 miles an hour. Curveball is away. ERA here at Wrigley Field this season under 3 coming in.
Look back at that decade between 2000 and 2010, Len. Tied for first, Tim Hudson and Barry Zito with 210 quality starts each, which might lead you to believe that there's more to Moneyball than just Scott Hatteberg playing first base.
Not bad, about 20 quality starts per year for those guys. As Holliday sends one into right on a 3-1 offering. Getting outs and hitters counts today. Tickets are still available for the 2012 Cubs season, including the next series against the division rival Pirates, beginning tomorrow night here at Wrigley Field. To purchase tickets, go to Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Beltran with 2 outs, nobody on. Curve is in there. This will be pitch number 93. popped up to first, where Anthony Rizzo will make the catch, and that'll end the inning. Bottom 6, Cubs 2, Cardinals nothing. Today we recognize Weir's Chevrolet for its support of DeMont Little League. Weir's Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers support leagues and young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. Anthony Rizzo with a swing and a miss. The final in Toronto, the Tigers did avoid the sweep, 4-1. Detroit. And as Rizzo hit that one past Wainwright and into center for a base hit. He's 2 for 3.
Nice job by Rizzo to make an adjustment from the first pitch to the second pitch. Both big curveballs. Second one was able to stay on just a tick longer, hit that ground ball back up the middle. Once it got past Wainwright, it was a clean single into center field. The Cardinals shading both holes on both sides of the field that time, leaving the middle wide open for Anthony Rizzo.
Swinging strike on Soriano. Zach Greinke making his Angel debut today, facing the Rays in Anaheim. No score. They're in the second. Wainwright, as we mentioned, 5-0 in his career at Wrigley Field. Only 3 pitchers have been perfect at 6-0. Ron Peranowski, Vida Blue, and Bobby J. Jones. Only perfect at 6-0. Got him. Fastball to freeze Soriano for the out. It's his 4th of the afternoon.
Even though the career numbers for Soriano against Wainwright are not that impressive, that one right at the upper corner of the strike zone. He was 4 for his last 5 coming into play today. He doubled in his first at bat, but now back-to-back strikeouts. Brian LaHare was starting to show some signs of snapping out of his doldrums in Pittsburgh that last game we played on the road trip. He made a couple of outs. He hit a ball hard to left center field and another drive toward the gap in right center. Only a great running catch by Gorkis Hernandez kept him from getting extra base hits. It looked like he was starting to drive the ball with more authority, but has struggled here against the Cardinals in this series.
And 0 for his last 14. And here's the 0-1. A little low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cubs have out hit the Cardinals 6-2. Haven't seen a home run yet today. Rizzo takes off, a hit and run as LaHare fouls back. 1-2.
That's a good mechanism that managers will use from time to time to help snap a guy out of a slump. Eliminate any indecision. You're going to swing at the next pitch regardless of where it is to protect that runner breaking from first to second. That time Rizzo got a pitch up in the zone, could only foul it off to the third base side.
Happy 80th. The Grandma Phyllis.
Maybe it's General Manager Phyllis.
I was going to say, maybe she works for Good Morning America. 3-2.
Happy birthday either way.
Yeah. Rizzo goes on the 3-2 swing and a miss. Throw to second. Inning over. Strike him out, throw him out, double play to the 7th. Cubs 2, Cardinals nothing.
you by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's our Bud Fan Cam, brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
Joe Mather in for LaHare and Wright. One and one on Yadier Molina. Wide of third, it's foul. As the Cubs have some action in their bullpen. Manny Corpus and James Russell, who improved to 4-0 on the year with a win yesterday. And the ball got out of the Cubs bullpen. We get later into this game. I mentioned some of the regular starters not in there for the Cardinals. That definitely helps out your bench as Molina takes a called third on the inside part of the plate.
Or the inside part of the batter's box. That's what you'll get. You'll get the benefit of the doubt if you've established all day long that you can hit those corners of the strike zone. That pitch a good 2 or 3 inches off the inside corner, but Molina can only hang his head and walk back to that first base dugout.
Freese has reached on an error and walked. Came in with a 9-game hitting streak, but this is his first action since Thursday. Actually had 3 hits in that game before leaving with the calf cramping. And a 10-game hitting streak. First baseman Matt Carpenter 0 for 2.
You mentioned the bats available off the bench for the Cardinals today. Everybody that can really hurt you or scare you is from the left side of the plate. That's why James Russell continues to throw in the Cubs bullpen, just in case Paul Maholm gets that pitch count up there to an unmanageable position.
Curveball strike. Maholm now into triple digits. 4th consecutive start, his season high 110 pitches. It was in his last outing when he went 8 innings for the 2nd straight game. Right field, Mather coming over, and the slide can't get it, gets past him. Freese had to hold up to make sure it got down. He's going to be held by Oquendo at third. The tying runs are now in scoring position. It's a double for Carpenter. And their first extra base hit.
But the wind may have helped knock that ball down a little bit as Mather got over near the foul line in the right field corner. That ball just died in front of him. Fortunately, David Freese had to hold up to see the ball down, forcing Jose Oquendo to throw up a stop sign for both Cardinal runners.
Here's Tyler Green. Valbuena, you see, even with a bag, everybody else back. Key guy for the Cubs right now is that guy at second. I don't want to give up a couple here. Lance Berkman has jumped into the on-deck circle for Wainwright. And if Wainwright is done for the afternoon, he gave his team a quality start. 6 innings, 2 runs, both earned. Outside and low, 2-0. kick, the pitch. 3-0. A walk here isn't the worst thing in the world. It would set up a potential inning-ending double play.
Be careful with this 3-0 pitch. We've seen two Cardinals hitters that obviously had the green light 3-0 already today.
I'm reading some of Mike Matheny's comments in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch after yesterday. He wasn't that upset about the aggressive nature of his team after they loaded the bases in the first inning. So you don't want to make your middle of the order guys passive. They do walk a lot, but he wants them to swing when they get their pitch. And Green lines one to Mather, who slipped, and he makes a catch. Throw it toward the plate. It'll be cut off. It'll be a sac fly on a line out. We've seen a couple of guys lose their footing in the outfield today. Mather able to recover at the last second. It's now 2-1.
Mather slipped initially, and then that sinking line drive looked like it was headed for grass out there in right field, but he's able to recover quickly enough to make the catch, hustled the ball home, but unfortunately David Freese had plenty of time to tag up and score.
And the Cubs are going to appeal and check if Freese left early. Campos is the third base umpire.
Well, that's the kind of play where a guy will occasionally leave early because of the timing of the catch in right field. If it's a routine fly ball and the outfielder's camped underneath it, it's very easy to time when that ball hits the outfielder's glove. But on a diving attempt like that, occasionally the runner will leave early.
Jam shot foul. Berkman 2 hits including a home run on Friday. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run yesterday. Suffered a bruised right knee earlier this week when he was hit by a Clayton Kershaw pitch. Changeup's low and outside. Barrett Browning. He ended up working in all 3 games in this series. (3-1) now, a new season high for Mulholland. It's his 111th pitch. The only inning he's had to grind all day here in the 7th. Here comes Dale Swain. A left-handed hitter coming up, Descalzo. Taking the ball yet. Pinch runner now for the Cardinals. He's going to leave him in. Joe Kelly, who started and took the loss yesterday, is going to pinch run for Berkman.
I think the fact that Descalso is taking this at bat tells you that Rafael Furcal is probably unavailable for the Cardinals today. Otherwise, he would be taking this at bat. Furcal, a switch hitter, would go to the plate right-handed, and he's had great numbers against Paul Maholm in his career, a .360 hitter.
Two balls, no strikes. Corpus and Russell are more than ready if needed. Carpenter the tying run at second. Kelly the pinch runner at first. Outside. And a slider. Alan Craig on deck. Bases are loaded. And that will be it for Maholm. Manny Corpus coming on with the bases full of Cardinals. The Cubs with a precarious 2-1 lead. Bases loaded. 2 outs here in the 7th. And we'll be back. Alan Craig, who was 0 for 3 against Maholm, will bat with his team down 1. Here we go. It's a strike and a slider. Two hits, a run, couple of walks in this inning. fly ball to right. Mather back now in a step to end the inning. Cubs maintain their lead. Stretch time.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Chef Graham Elliott.
All right, Cub fans, let me hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, and we'll root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs!
As Paul Maholm gave up 1, Manny Corpus got out of the inning, and the bases loaded. So the Cubs still lead 2-1. And Chef Graham Elliott is with us after a rousing rendition of the 7th inning stretch.
Well, how you doing, guys?
We're doing fine.
Good.
Nicely done. You've got a nice singing voice.
Oh, thank you. I'd been practicing. I was kind of nervous.
Well, the practice paid off. Blown outside on Steve Clevenger.
Well, the Cardinals forced you to wait a lot longer than you should have right there, Graham.
But, I know, but we got him out. So
that's right.
And that's inside 2-0. So Bob and I go right to the line that you are the culinary director of Lollapalooza.
That is correct. And we have Lolla next weekend.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of fun going on. You know, music and food, they go hand in hand. As you've seen here, go hand in hand with baseball as well.
How do you determine what's on the menu at Lollapalooza? Do you talk to the artists, or is this just off the top of your head?
You know what's fun is to realize their background and where they're from. So if you've got Pearl Jam coming from the Pacific Northwest, you're going to do food that's based on that region. You got somebody coming from the South, you're going to throw down on that kind of stuff.
So what can we expect this year?
Well, this year we're going to be serving our kind of signature dish, which is a lobster corn dog.
Nice.
And that's with like a little lemon mayo on top. And we also do truffle popcorn with cracked pepper and sea salt. And those seem to be universal dishes that everybody really loves and understands.
Very nice. 2-2 on Steve Clevenger. Hits a ground ball to third. David Freese will pick it up. Throw across for the out. Now, when you sit down and have your favorite meal, what do you have?
You know, I'm a fan of pasta. If you can rock out some homemade pasta, a little bit of grated Parmesan, some cracked black pepper, that's awesome. That's it. Another thing, which is like my little secret that I don't like to tell people, is mac and cheese from the Blue Box. I won't say the brand, with some sliced hot dogs in it. That is, you can blindfold yourself, take a bite, and you're transported right back to when you were a kid.
Well, since you didn't want to tell anybody, you're on national television, so we tell you that. But here's Darwin Barney as he hits one down the line, fair.
Beautiful.
On his way to second. And he'll slide in with his second double of the day. So I'd love to add on here. They lead down to 1.
Darwin Barney not partial to one corner or the other. His first double in the ball game came right down the left field line. This one a slicing drive down the right field line.
So now you were born in Seattle, but a Navy brat, as it says here on your bio, so you've been to all 50 states and all over the world. And how would you rate Chicago?
You know what? Chicago is the adoptive home for me. I really didn't have anywhere to call home, being all over. I came here to work for a chef, Charlie Trotter, here in the city, and I absolutely fell in love with this place. It's the only one, whenever I go out of town, that I really miss and have to come back to. So I love it, and I'm, just for the record, extremely humbled that I had the opportunity to be here with you guys today and to sing this 7th inning stretch.
Well, again, you did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Now, that being said, Graham, the bar's been set pretty low. They've actually let us sing it a couple of times. So anybody that can carry any semblance of a tune, you're Pavarotti as far as we're concerned.
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but there's a guy in the city who rhymes with Ray Butler who recently allowed me to come in and shine.
Very nice. 1-0 on Valbuena. Cubs leading 2-1 here in the 7th. Browning has worked in all 3 games of this series. I have been asked by members of our production team to ask you about pork belly.
Pork belly,
yes.
yes. So if you smoke it and cure it, it's called bacon. Otherwise, you braise it, and then you can sear it in a pan, and it's crispy, and it's got all that luscious melt-in-your-mouth fat that, is incredibly delicious. So, good stuff.
Well, hopefully they're writing down all those things.
I can hear their mouths watering.
I feel that most dishes that are really yummy, you should be able to wash your face with after it. So, ripe peach, some watermelon, pork belly, fried chicken.
Breaking ball missed. 2-0 to Valbuena. So Sean Camp probably for the 8th. After Corpus faced one batter and got out of the 7th. Again, 3-0. Well, we have a chef here in the booth. Browning's on the mound, and Baker is on deck. Go figure.
Where's Johnny Searing?
And Aaron
and
Cook.
Bobby Satay.
Yeah. Three and 1.
Well, it goes without saying that you're extremely pleased with the evolution of cooking as a spectator sport.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it? I mean, it's become this reality thing, and it's competitive, but, it's also a way to connect with nature and to fulfill people and make them healthy with delicious things. So, it's beautiful how it hits on so many different levels.
We did a thing last year on the air. We tried ballpark food in every different park, and that seemed to be a popular feature because we know one thing: everybody eats.
Absolutely, it's a universal truth. I was actually down there in the stands mowing down some nachos, so that's my crutch.
The 3-2 pitch, ball 4. 2 on. And it will be Jeff Baker.
I don't know if you have any recipes for Rocky Mountain oysters, but they sure could have used them at Coors Field last year when I had to eat them.
Oh, really?
man. Not one of my favorites.
Generally, if you fry anything, or maybe they just could have put some ranch on it. Ranch, you could put ranch on a boot, and it would be amazingly delicious.
So Jeff Baker announced it. Mike Matheny's going to go with Fernando Salas. Graham Elliott, world-class chef, and we're proud to have him here in our fair city of Chicago. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you guys so much.
Nice job at the stretch.
Thank you.
Lo and behold, Wainwright and Mulholland came through. Visit your local Chicagoland Honda dealer today and test drive a 2012 Honda Accord. There's a right-hander, Fernando Salas, against pinch hitter Jeff Baker. The Cubs have 2 on and 1 out. And the first pitch. Breaking ball missed. Hit foul. 39,534. Very few empty seats all weekend, as these two longtime rivals have put together an interesting series, to say the least. Cardinals hit a home run in each of the first 5 innings on Friday in a 9-6 win. Cubs came back with a 3-2 decision yesterday and leading 2-1 here in the finale. Left-hander Brian Fuentes, who made his Cardinal debut on Friday, pitched yesterday and getting loose again today.
You see Dyer Miller, the bullpen coach for the Cardinals, waving his hat toward that first base dugout. That's the universal indicator that he's ready to go whenever you want it.
Just have to make sure that's not your "hey, how you doing" greeting if you're a bullpen coach. He said he was ready. I was just saying hi to somebody I knew.
I had an itch on top of my head. You mentioned Barrett Browning, the left-hander that was taken down from Fernando Salas, pitched in all 3 games of this series. You know what Mike Matheny said to him when he came out to the mound? "How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thine rubber arm. love thy slider to lefties.
Very nice.
Love a gapper right about now.
Three and two. So Dale has the runners on the move here. Probably so.
I really think as a hitter that changes your approach at the plate. If you know those runners are on the move, you want to make sure to make contact if the strike is thrown. Cut down on your swing a little bit. Just make sure to put the ball in play.
Swing and a miss. Throw to third. Tag applied. Barney out. Second strike him out. Throw him out. Double play. In as many innings, 2-1 Cubs. Box score. The Cubs scoring early in this series. Today they got a run in the first, one in the second. They've made it hold up to this point. Only one RBI, and that's Starlin Castro on the ground out in the opening inning. For a limited time, get exceptional lease deals on a new 2012 BMW 3 Series. Visit ChicagolandBMW.com for more information. Their setup man Sean Camp against Matt Holliday.
I mean, a one-run game, obviously every inning is important, but this is a big inning for the Cubs. Get through Holliday, Beltran, and Molina, followed by Freese and Carpenter. A lot of thump coming to the plate this inning for the Cardinals.
Likes to work from the windup with nobody on. 1-1.
Changeup just fades off of that inside corner. You really have to be careful with off-speed pitches to Matt Holliday. I think he's a real good breaking ball strike hitter or change ups that stay in the strike zone. He keeps his bat in the zone for such a long time.
Couldn't hold up. It's a key pitch. 2-2.
hard slider starts on the outer third. Ends up just off the corner. Check swing strike.
Laid off the sinker. 3-2. Beltran on deck. Carlos Beltran is what? 18 feet from Matt Holliday. And about 10 feet away from the actual on-deck circle. Pitch is way outside. Beltran could swing at it. 3-2. Barney will backhand. He's got time, and he gets the error.
Visit the official online shop of the Chicago Cubs at Cubs.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Cubs.com shop.
Beltran 0 for 3. Those at bats coming right-handed against Paul Maholm. Gave the Cubs another start of at least 6 innings and no more than 1 run. 6 in a row. Fly ball deep left. Soriano back. Gone into the basket. An opposite field game tying home run for Carlos Beltran. That is a 10th career homer in this ballpark, Bob, and 120 career bats for Beltran.
A bad meeting. Decided they wanted to go with a fastball away. Unfortunately, Sean Kemp elevates it just below the belt out over the plate. It's just enough to tuck it into that front row of the bleachers in left field.
For 325 in his career. We are back to even 2-2. Camp's 1-1 to Molina. 2-1. Fouled out of play. Home run allowed by Sean Kemp this season. Shallow right, Mather retires Molina. Left-hander Mark Zepchinski and righty Mitchell Boggs are up for the Cardinals. Freese with 2 outs. Beltran tied it with a home run. He went around. Ball made by Mark Wegner. Turns 2-0 into 1-1.
Even David Freese knew it, but tried to walk away and play it off. Mike Winters did not make the call initially behind home plate. It was only upon appeal.
Drilled out into the alley. Soriano with a little bobble and a drop. Freese on his way to second. And he's going to slide in just safely ahead of the relay throw by Castro. It's a double for Freese. But they almost got him.
It's too bad Soriano had that little bobble out there in the gap in left center field. I think they would have gotten David Freese at second base had he continued to run. Soriano gets over there, cuts off the gap, but the ball climbs up his arm. He has to take a couple of extra steps to ultimately get to the baseball. And then a lightning quick replay by Starlin Castro on to Darwin Barney makes it a close play at second base.
They will intentionally pass Carpenter to get to Tyler Green. Another action today. The Braves just swept the Phillies with a 6-2 win. Jason Hayward and Chipper Jones each with home runs against Roy Halladay. So Atlanta's now won 5 in a row. Halladay got his 2,000th strikeout in that game, but took the loss.
Did you ever in your wildest dreams imagine that the Phillies would be sellers at the trade deadline? Lots of rumors about Shane Victorino. Jimmy Rollins' name has come up recently. Hunter Pence. They went into play today sitting 15.5 games out of first place. 11 games under 500.
Yeah, they were playing well going into the weekend, but it did not go well. Skip Schumacher's going to hit for Green. You and I have talked about it before. When you take a few starters who normally play out of your lineup, some people tend to look at it and go, well, I don't really love this lineup. But a manager looks at it like, wow, I really, really like my bench today.
Especially if you've got a really good matchup hiding over there on your bench. Back in my days managing the Diamondbacks, Steve Finley had unbelievable numbers. I'm trying to think of the name of the relief pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So we always made it a point to rest Steve Finley at least one game of the Dodger series, get one of our bench players in the lineup, but know that I had that weapon available off the bench late in the game for that matchup we were looking for.
Freese is second, Carpenter at first, and the pinch hitter Schumacher at the plate. Clevenger will go back out and talk it over.
You think about that home run to Carlos Beltran. So unfortunate. Sean Camp has done such a great job this year. When he misses in his favor. If he's trying to hit the outside corner, he's going to miss farther away. If he's trying to go up in the zone with a four-seamer, he'll miss further up high out of the zone. That particular pitch to Beltran just sat right there, belt high out over the plate. Caught way too much of the big part.
Off the plate inside. John Jay is on deck. Cleveland got swept in Minnesota. Final today, 5-1 Twins. Brian Dunsing replacing the traded Francisco Liriano today. And he got the win. Two and one. It's like the Astros are poised to snap their 12-game losing streak. They have a 9-3 lead as they go to the 8th against the Pirates. Bounce to Rizzo, fair. He steps on first. And that's it. They leave two. Beltran's homer, however, ties it up.
Player. We're going to highlight Carlos Marmol today. You see what he did through his first 22 games this season. ERA over 6, and walked 21 batters, but in his last 15 ball games, not only has he been better, but the team has been much better. 14-1 record, perfect 11 for 11 in save opportunities. The Anything's Possible player brought to you by the Illinois Lottery, who each day make anything possible.
Marmol hoping the Cubs can get one here. And his left-hander Mark Zepchinski will try to keep the game tied. Schumacher remains in after hitting for Green. The Cubs have the top of the order. The Jesus, Castro, and Rizzo. Ball one. Joe Boggs continuing to get loose. The Orioles with a 6-1 win over the A's to avoid the sweep. Even with a loss, Oakland's still 18-4 here in July. Wei-Yin Chen with a career-high 12 strikeouts for the Orioles. That was a battle of the vowels, the O's over the A's. And Hall of Fame broadcaster Marty Brenneman better call his barber and shave his head if the Reds win today. It would be their 10th in a row. Two on DeJesus. He's run it full, 3-2. Chinsky's had 9 consecutive scoreless appearances. Another 3-2, ball 4.
Fastball just drops off that lower part of the inside corner for ball 4. We know Dale Swain doesn't like to give up outs offensively, but in the bottom half of the 8th inning of a tie ball game, let's see what he does here with Starlin Castro.
Hit the ball to short all 3 times. Knocked in a run with that ground ball out in the first after the DeJesus triple.
No pickoffs this season for Mark Zepchinski. Doesn't really have a great pickoff move to first base, but he does unload quickly to home plate, giving his catcher a chance to throw out potential base stealers.
Outside corner. 1-1.
Just a little bit off of the outside corner, tailing fastball from the Cardinals left-hander. That would have been a perfect hit and run pitch right there. A fastball away from a right-handed hitter with a big hole on the right side of the infield.
Take 2-1. Chinsky was born in Oak Lawn, Illinois. Went to high school in Anaheim, California. Cardinals got him in that big deal with the Blue Jays in late July of last year. The Jesus runs. Castro hits a fly ball to right. The Jesus never did quite get to second and is able to get back without a throw. Craig with the catch.
Well, Dale does try to hit and run with De Jesus at first and Castro at the plate, especially watching the sequence of pitches from Zepchinski. Everything away to Starlin Castro. Unfortunately, last one lifted in the air to right field rather than a ground ball. Results in the first out of the inning.
Rizzo with 2 singles. And he really should have 3 hits. Descalzo robbed him of a hit in the 3rd inning. Great play at short. Marlins just beat the Padres on a Justin Ruggiano game-ending RBI single in the bottom of the 10th. 5-4 Miami, the final. Two and 0. Three and 0. Zepchinski has made 14 pitches. He's only thrown 5 strikes.
Really slowing the pace of the game. Not only the left-handed pitcher on the mound, but Yadier Molina getting signs from the Cardinals bench. It really slowed the pace of this game.
Rizzo with the green light. 3 and 1. Matheny and Eric Lilliquist, the pitching coach, look on. Here it is. Ball 4. Couple of walks this inning. Mitchell Boggs will come in along with John Jay as part of a double switch with Soriano due up. A 2-2 game in the 8th. As the Cardinals making a couple of changes here. John Jay into the game to play right. And actually, he's going to play center. That makes sense. Beltran will go to right. And Craig will go to first. So pitcher spot will be 7th, where Matt Carpenter was.
How about this, Len? Alfonso Soriano's numbers against Mitchell Boggs in his career. He's 2 for 11. That's a 182 batting average with 7 strikeouts. Now, the 7 strikeouts came in a row. But the last 2 times Fonzie's faced him, he's gotten to him. A base hit and a double.
To third, Freeze with a nice play. Little bobble, though. They won't get 2. So the inning is still alive. Second and third with 2 outs.
He just could not find the handle. Had the wherewithal to fire across the diamond to get the out at first base. David Freese can be a little shaky defensively down there at third base, but he's not in there for his glove. He's made 8 errors on the season. That will not go as an error, but that's a ball that probably should have been turned up the middle of the field for an inning-ending double play.
Joe Mather. Beat his former team again. Did it earlier this season here at Wrigley. And into center, but it's going to hold up for Jay as Mather hit it right on the button, but he lines out. Marmol, the Cubs closers on. Cardinals will have Jay, Descalzo, and Craig. This is not a save spot. He's trying to save the tie. Cardinals have not led today. Cubs with an early 2-0 lead. St. Louis got a run in the 7th. And a game tying marker in the 8th on the home run from Carlos Beltran. Here's John Jay with his first at bat. He takes a strike. He's 0 for 7 in this series. He made a fantastic catch on Friday, robbing Anthony Rizzo. 0 for 6 lifetime against Marmol.
Everything about this catch, how far he had to go to get to it, the adjustment he has to make at the very end as the wind pushes that ball back over his head, leaves his feet, tumbles onto the warning track and able to hang on.
How many balls have we seen hit right to Rizzo, right at first base today?
Room service ground balls. Just leave the guy right to where he's going anyway.
Pitch to Descalso. Slider for a strike. Bell tied. Very quiet at the moment. 9th inning and a 2-2 tie. Cardinal fan making me nervous. The ground ball to the right side. Barney this time. Craig now playing first. He started the game in right. No hits and 4 trips. Slider strike. There's slider, 0-2. A quick 1-2-3 for Marmol. Holiday would hit next if Craig gets on. But he does not. An 11 pitch 9th inning for Marmol. 2-2. in an inning of work this season, 11. This is his 38th appearance. Only 2 times previously did he throw fewer than 13 pitches. It was 2/3 of an inning, 10 pitches against Detroit on June 12th. Steve Clevenger takes ball 1. 9 pitches to get 1 out against Washington on April 8th. So, Bob, that was his most efficient inning of the year. It certainly seemed like it, and I looked it up. Chopper to Freeze. 1 away. What that means is if Dale's not forced a pinch hit for him, he possibly could have him go back out there for the 10th. We'll see. If anybody reaches, though, it would get to the pitcher's spot. The most pitches Marmol's thrown in a game this year, 34 at Philadelphia on April 29th, 1 inning. We like today's a little bit.
A lot better.
Darwin Barney, base hit. His 3rd of the day. Winning run on base.
Tough call here. Do you use your secret weapon, Tony Campana, to pinch run for the guy that's been the hottest hitter in your lineup and your best defender at second base, or do you let Darwin Barney go ahead and hopefully make his way around the bases? Barney had a double to the left field corner, double to the right field corner, and just so the center fielder doesn't feel left out, he lines one back up the middle.
Valbuena. Let's see a few throws over there. Who had the game-winning RBI yesterday off the bench on a bunt single with 2 outs. Reed Johnson came in the 7th. So Boggs trying to make it 19 consecutive scoreless appearances. It's over 15 innings without allowing a run over that time. Up in the air, shallow left center. Descalzo out. Will make the catch, and wow, that could have been a bad one. John Jay right behind him. I don't know how they missed running into one another, but they're very fortunate. 2 outs.
You can see they narrowly missed each other as Descalzo was backpedaling into left center field. Jay streaking in from his position in center.
Nice hand for Reed Johnson.
Jerry Pressey with his rendition of the Beatles yesterday. I believe in yesterday.
Very nice. Gary's celebrating his 25th anniversary. Playing the Lowry organ here at Wrigley Field. Boggs will throw over. Barney back. Johnson went around.
Well, if you're wondering, base runners are a perfect 4 for 4 when Mitchell Boggs is on the mound for the Cardinals. Darwin Barney, not a guy that runs a lot. He picks his spots very carefully. Sure would love to see him on second base, but if he happens to get thrown out, you lose your pinch hitter, Reed Johnson.
Just back.
Big secondary lead for Darwin Barney. It's almost premeditated for Yadier Molina. When he knows he's calling for a slider off of the outside corner, that leads him right into that pickoff attempt at first base.
Traffic telling Miss Bell trying to come in a few steps out and right. What about it again?
Think about the pickoff attempts by Yadier Molina. Pitches that he knows are going to be off the plate away. Balls that are in the dirt that he picks cleanly, and the base runner is probably going to take an extra step on his secondary lead on those. Dave McKay told us when the batter swings and the bat flies out of the batter's hands into the stands, Molina likes to pick on that play because everybody's distracted by the flying bat.
Three and one. Scoring position. Comes Derek Lilliquist before DeJesus bats.
DeJesus 2 for 6 against Mitchell Boggs in his career with a double. Really goes extensively to that slider against right-handed hitters, not nearly as effective against lefties.
Winning run now at second base. That's Darwin Barney. Reed Johnson's at first. Boggs to DeJesus. Ground ball to second. We're going to go to extras. Through 9. Cubs 2, Cardinals 2. scoreless 7th inning. See what he's doing right there, and a lot of pitchers do that. Write things in the dirt on the mound, and some are not willing to say what it is, but talk to James about it. He carves the initials of his childhood friend into the mound before every appearance. His good friend passed away a long time ago. He says he's been doing that pre-appearance ritual since he was in college. Good way to honor someone who was very important to him early on in his life. 1 strike on Matt Holliday. Cardinals so good against lefties, although Mahalam today gave up just 1 run in 6 2/3.
Paul Mahalam didn't do the things that a left-handed pitcher would normally do against a right-handed heavy lineup. Throw that sinking fastball on the outside corner. Breaking balls on the inside part. Basically did exactly the opposite. Who cut fastballs on the inside corner and dropped off-speed pitches on the outside corner.
First time the Cubs have gone into extra innings since back-to-back games in Milwaukee and Minnesota in early June. Trevor Rosenthal on the left, Jason Mott on the right. Called strike 3 to get Holliday.
Backdoor breaking pitch from James Russell following the lead of Paul Mahalam. Perfectly executed.
Beltran back to the right side after he homered left-handed off Sean Camp to tie it in the 8th. The first ever switch hitter with 300 homers, 300 steals. Towering fly ball deep left. This one's going to stay in. It's Soriano with his heels on the dirt.
I was just about to say that prorated, the power numbers are pretty equal this year for Beltran, right and left. Hitting for a much higher average as a left-handed hitter, but the power numbers very nearly the same prorated.
Ball 1 to Molina. Base hit to keep the inning alive for David Freese.
Not a lot of options off the bench for either team at this point. Both teams have their other catcher available. For the Cardinals, Tony Cruz. For the Cubs, Giovanni Soto. And Campana available for Dale Swain, while Rafael Furcal, we speculated he might not be available, period, today, with the only position player left on Mike Matheny's bench.
The 2-day respite hasn't bothered David Freese at all. Came in 15 for his last 28. He's 2 for 3 with a double, a walk, and a run. That one almost hit him, but he swung at it.
dislocate some discs taking swings like that.
Popped up. Valbuena inning over. Bottom 10, still tied at 2. To you by Bud Light Lime. Summer is calling. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. The Illinois Lottery. Do you believe in the power of possibility? The Illinois Lottery. Anything's possible. And by Ford, manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Rookie right-hander Trevor Rosenthal is on. 5th reliever for the Cardinals. Just the 4th appearance of his Major League career.
Through his first 3, he's a guy that likes his fastball an awful lot. Both the two-seamer and the cutter. Rarely throws a breaking pitch.
Seemed to work to Castro's advantage. He likes that fastball as he takes a strike.
The cutter at 92, just off the outside corner. Rosenthal collegiately pitched at 4C. That's the Cowley County Community College in Kansas.
Kansas is spelled with a C? Oh, okay. What are the other 4? Toward right, base hit. Castro on the board, now 1 for 5.
Rip and slash. Description of Starlin Castro's approach at the plate. Perfect example of it right there. The front side had cleared out, but the bat drags through the strike zone, driving that ball through the right side of the infield.
Rizzo 2 hits and a walk. Average up 10 points today. And a strike. Deep left, Holiday, gone! Cubs win! 2-run homer by Rizzo. Line shot, he just got it over the basket. So they take 2 of 3 from the Cardinals. Boy, that ended quickly. And Rizzo with his 7th homer of the year, and it's a game ender. And we've got Anthony Rizzo with us. Sure, a little still out of breath.
Yeah, guys, how's it going?
Congrats. Let's talk about the at-bat and the big pitch.
Just, first pitch fastball and then second pitch fastball kind of middle of the way, and put a good swing on it. So many times in this situation, try to do too much and just run with it, and lucky it got up.
I think that's a great description, Anthony. And what we've seen in your time here in Chicago, it looks like you're willing to hit the ball hard wherever it's pitched, unlike a lot of power hitters who need to pull the ball to show their power.
Yeah, just like I said, learning from last year, not trying to do too much. It's the biggest thing. And Paul pitched great today, and we kept fighting, kept giving ourselves a chance to score, and coming out on top was huge.
We talked the other day off the air just about video, and you kind of joke, sometimes I watch too much. Keeping it simple isn't that simple at this level, is it? But it seems like you've taken a breath and kind of taken things as slowly as possible. It's not easy sometimes, is it?
It's not easy at all, and especially up here, you go 0 for 5 one day, and you're thinking about it, but it's taking it one day at a time, one at a time, and just keeping it simple, like I always say.
How much help are you getting from some of the veteran players on your team? Obviously, you're facing pitchers for the most part that you've never seen before. Certainly, you can go in the video room and look at some videotape, but how much do you rely on your veteran teammates to help you out with some of the pitchers you're facing?
Everyone's been awesome. Reeves has been awesome. Dempster's been awesome. Soriano's been a lot of help, and I rely on them a lot. They give me a lot of confidence in the clubhouse every day, and it's been a lot of fun, guys.
How about this atmosphere here at Wrigley Field every single day?
It's awesome. Couldn't ask for more. These fans are the best I've ever been around, and probably one of the best in the league.
Anthony, congratulations on the game-ending home run. Did you think it was out when it left your bat? The only question was it high enough?
I had no idea. I don't really remember much of that bat now that I'm thinking of it, but it's just great to win.
All right, thanks, Anthony.
Thank you, guys. Anthony
Rizzo with a game-winning 2-run homer in the 10th. What an exciting player. His heartbeat's a little slower, doesn't it, than most guys at this level? You can tell he's going to be around for a while. Cubs win 4-2-10, and we'll have more from Wrigley Field coming up.